the thing. You can't blame dad for nature. That's the way that it is.
You
know.
can't. Dogs will eat chickens.
Yeah, they
Give
will.
them a chance.
So will snakes, apparently.
Fuck yeah.
They got it. Yeah.
So your brain, like when they do the scan, do they tell you what you should do to make it better? Like, what did they look at it and go, oh, you're fucked up?
No, they say to make it better. You know, he works kind of with, I guess a lot of, kind of mostly athletes, people that kind of live abnormal lifestyle, and so
Injuries. Head injuries.
Yeah, he just posted a cool picture with Tyson, and he just works with all different. I love seeing the other brains that I'm allowed to see also, because it kind of is fun to. I would love like a Match.com, but like where people just put their brain scans. And I'd be like, I like that one. That's lighting up right where I need it. You got something I don't have.
That would be actually amazing if that's how it worked. Because like personalities are weird. Like people sometimes you go, wow, they just work together.
Exactly, and I think it has to do with that. I'm not really looking now. I guess for as much as I'm looking for I want the soul connection, but I'm more about the brain connection. I'm a very logical. I like to have kind of logic in my life because I used to be kind of owned by emotion in a way. I was very emotional, and that's what I meant by. I think we spun off of what I meant by tough. So I used to be very emotional, and that used to kind of
cry about things, and now you get over things.
And also more I would really kind of just I would just become such a recluse. I have that tendency. My dad said everyone's just getting on social distancing. He's been doing it since 1992. Like my dad's been on social. I said it as soon as we walked in here. That
was around achy breaky heart time.
Yes.
Right. 92 is.
That was right when I was born, and that is when it was all.
So she's the year of the monkey.
So that also explains. I mean, I think somewhat of my, just who I am, my personality, how I.
Did your dad talk to you about what the anxiety was like for him when he became famous?
Well, my dad.
Because your dad was for people who don't know, in the early 90s, your dad was a fucking superstar.
But he had a very different lifestyle than I did, as my dad grew up in a house that didn't even have an indoor bathroom. My dad hadn't gone to the dentist until he was 30 years old. My dad had never gone to a dentist. My dad grew up poor. My uncle still lives in their same house. He's got an indoor bathroom now because my dad's a G and put that in. But he still lives in the same house. And so my dad grew up in you probably have seen it. It's one of the poor areas in the country. My dad grew up in Appalachia in Kentucky. So did my mom.
I know where that
so I've been there a bunch, and I've been able to see where my dad's from. So he had a different relationship to fame because he went from nothing to everything. I went kind of from having, everything. If we look at really the way I grew up, lived in a big house on a big farm. The only thing that was sad about it is we didn't have kind of neighbors or normal kids around, because I lived on this big kind of isolated farm, but went to school, had this normal life. But I mean, if we really look at it, I didn't know when I was a kid that I had everything, but I had everything. So I went from having it all to having more. And that
same
kind of
same
to kind of humanize, I guess, about yourself. Because my life is very unique, and so it's very hard for me to sit with someone and relate to them. And I think that made me really scared because my mom doesn't like to be alone, so I have that fear in my mind if I don't want to be alone. But I think what makes you lonely isn't the amount of people are around, but am I relating to people? Am I really connecting?
Well, you must have a hard time connecting to people because they don't have the same life experience as you. Your reality, it's like you're in a fishbowl. You're in a different reality, and you're hanging out next to people that aren't in the fishbowl.
Here's the difference of the fishbowl. So we usually put the fish in the fishbowl. And you
were born in the fishbowl.
Right, we do it. And I was born into it, but then again, I put myself into it. So if you get a beta, you're the one that does it.
You did it when you were a little kid, and you didn't know what you were doing.
But my parents didn't really want me to. So my dad wouldn't even really go with us to the auditions. He was actually kind of mad at my mom about it. That was kind of a thing. And then my mom's like, I'm going to do this. So, she stays in this small town. She's going to be like everybody else that just ends up on drugs. So she took me to L.A. Mom, hello. She didn't even smoke weed yet. Well, that's not the AB that I've ever heard of. Let's avoid drugs in Nashville, so let's get more and better, a lot better drugs in LA.
A lot better.
We're going way off track. What bothers you about being more resilient? Because that's what it sounds
Okay, here we are. This is what I like.
You say more tough. You're talking about the difference between someone who reacts overly emotionally to something. You would fall to the ground and curl up in a ball and cry about things, and now you can get over them. That, to me, is the sign of perspective.
Okay, so here's where it is, and I don't even want to have a conversation about really sexism or men versus women, because like I love dudes, and I actually relate to dudes a lot more. But I think men in my life have told me that I'm cold, or I'm a cold fucking bitch, because I leave when things are done. I was actually gonna say,
well, maybe you've been dating bitches.
I'm really into a lot of things, but I don't fuck dead guys. And when it's over, and you're dead to me, and we move on.
Wow.
So that's how I feel about it.
That's heavy.
And I'll do a lot of things, but I don't do that. And so I think that that's where I've gotten the idea, which actually I'm glad you just said that to me, because I get this kind of beaten into the brain from all different angles. My mom is like, everyone else is proud of me for being, like you said, resilient, and I have a lot of guilt. I'm a very guilty person.
But that sounds like you're talking to guys who want you to feel guilty because you don't feel emotional about it ending.
And this is the
People
first
need
time.
to learn how to just let shit go. If they like you, or if they love you.
They have to.
If
but they don't
love
have
you,
to. That's a hard.
Man, listen. Now, the reason why we talking about this is because I've been looking for this clip. Because honestly, I feel like I'm transforming into what she's talking about, where it's like, listen, y'all, the more that you become at a higher caliber of a person, the more you start evolving, the more you start changing, you just do not get along. You just don't relate anymore to people who aren't on your current frequency, and that is okay. I feel like we make ourselves feel guilty, like she said. Hold on. I feel like we make ourselves feel guilty for not relating with certain people when it's like you're not supposed to relate. Do you want to relate to a pedophile? No. So why are you trying to relate to other people who are at lower frequencies? To relate to someone means to resonate. Look, relate and resonance all begin with R-E. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like within my life too, I'm learning how to get over things a lot faster. I'm learning to like not take things so personal, not get so emotional about things, and realizing that, just like what Miley said, like I feel the same way. Like, let it go. Like if they're dead to you, they're dead to you. And honestly, I feel like she thinks this way because she doesn't have a lack mindset when it comes to people. You know what I'm saying? Like she kind of does a little bit because she doesn't want to feel lonely. But at the same time, in order for you to let go of somebody, you must have some type of awareness that more is coming. Period. You must have some type of awareness that more is coming. So I really enjoyed this. I felt like she's so accurate when it comes to that. And like, don't let nobody make you feel bad because you're detached, because you're not as attached as they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a fan of attachments. The only attachments I like is attachments on my glizzy. You know what I'm saying? So like on my, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm saying, man, just like, I really like what she's saying.
It's a hard thing.
Should want you to be happy. Just let it pass and then be friends.
Okay, so
if they can't do that, that's on them. That's not on you because you're resilient. That's why I'm looking
for an older man, because these like guys that are, I definitely should be with someone. I think that
you got to find Nick Nolte.
This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. I don't need a man or a woman that's gonna. A woman. I can take care of me because I've got money. I've got all the things that I need to take care of myself.
Miley, what's good?
I need them to be able to take care of them.
Yeah.
Because somehow I keep getting into.
Well, you need someone with autonomy.
Yes.
Autonomy.
That's what you need. You need someone who they don't need your constant approval and affection. And
yes, I agree.
Just for the record, I guess I really don't need to be in a relationship at all.
You
so
don't.
That's good. We got to this point.
You know what's crazy? I literally was just saying this to my friend. I was like, we be out here thinking that relationships are something that we're supposed to check off, when in reality, that's not true. Like, a relationship is almost like a hobby, like a side quest. Like if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Like, it's not like you're not going to complete your mission if you don't have love. Like,
this point. See, this is therapy.
Yeah, you don't need
and you can
it,
receive love from different ways.
It does sound nice.
People can poison you with their ideas of what you should be. If you don't meet up to their expectations, and oftentimes their expectations of you are just to reaffirm themselves. Mm-hmm. They want you to love them. They want you to tell them how awesome they are. And if you don't feel that way, you're cold. Yeah. There's something wrong with you because they don't have autonomy. They can't exist independently.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
The problem is there's a lot of bitches out there.
I like it. That's
what
That's
it
how I
is.
feel. And honestly, we're talking at a very, this is a super like kind of pivotal moment for me right now. I have